Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Shats coming to you with another video. And in this video, I'm going to react and basically analyze the results of the Eurovision Song Competition that was held last night in Basel. So looking at the results now, I obviously watched the show live, and I'm curious to talk to you guys about what happened basically. So obviously Austria ended up winning with, actually looking at it now, a fairly good split between jury votes and the public, and it's which ended up being kind of a pretty nice margin from winning. I mean, out of the second place, it was something like 80 points, 79 points. So very impressive. Um, obviously, people will react differently to a winner that is basically a winner by the jury and not by the public. I believe Austria got like the fourth highest points from the audience. So not a major winner on the audience side for sure, but definitely a winner on the jury side. And it's always going to be the case, right? It's either be a winner from the jury side or a winner from the public side. It's very it doesn't really happen anymore that you have the same winner for both. And sometimes, like last year, we have a winner that is neither, right? So that is kind of a compromise, which I feel like is probably the worst case scenario. So yeah, so Austria, great song. The bookies love it as well. It was second very high in the odds for a long time. So definitely, I feel like a worthy winner, and Austria would probably do a very good job in hosting next year. And considering the second place, probably it's better that Austria won. And let me explain myself. I love the Israeli song. Um, and obviously, I even want people to vote for it. And I'm very happy that Israel won the public vote. But it would probably be very challenging to host for Israel anyway. So it's a good thing that they got there. What I can say is the moral win for them in terms of winning the public, but that they don't have to actually host a competition next year. So people might say, okay, Israel winning in the public vote is a bit odd. Again, it's but I'm sure that the numbers have been tallied well, and so I have no doubt that they actually won. Um, and yeah, and I guess that's a lot of sentiments from the public about the situation in Israel. Obviously, people who are supporting Israel are more galvanized to vote for it than probably other countries, which is similar to what happened with Ukraine back then, and honestly, it still is similar. I mean, Ukraine is still pretty high in the public audience, so probably that has to do with it somewhat. Interesting that Ukraine and Israel got the same amount of votes from the Jews, 60 both. So that's curious. Yeah, but I believe the Yuval songs was really good. It was very well performed, I think, in the final. So yeah, it's a worthy second place for sure for me, and I understand why it got there. And you know what? It wasn't even snubbed that much by the jury. I mean, 60 is low, but it could be worse, as you can see in some cases. So it's okay. Estonia is a surprise, obviously, is in the third place. Really happy with the votes from the audience. Actually, it's a second place in the audience, and very well done. So yeah, espresso macchiato, that TikTok kind of trend really made people resonate with it, I guess. And it makes sense actually when you think about it. And I'm happy to see that people actually vote for it. Um, and yeah, really great, great song. I mean, honestly, if I'm being more romantic about winning in Eurovision and stuff like that, I would have preferred Estonia to win. I think, first of all, I'm always happy that a country has the first win. So that was probably Estonia's biggest shot for a while. Um, and yeah, probably for the pockets of everyone, it would be probably better to go to a place like Estonia than Austria. But please, Austrian people, find a good place, not too expensive for us to come and actually enjoy the party as well, because it was difficult to get to Basel. Sweden. So Sweden is the biggest, I would say, quote unquote, losers, right? They were the top favorite for a while. Um, and in the end of the day, the juries didn't really connect with them. I mean, they were like third place, I think, in the jury. So they can't complain about the juries. Honestly, they got third place in the juries. No, it wasn't third place. Sorry, just a second. It was fourth place in the jury and third place from the audience. So in the end of the day, it's not that far. I mean, they got what it got like a happy medium of the two. Yeah, so I guess that the audience didn't really resonate with it as much as people thought. It is a bit odd. It's very far away from, let's say, Estonia, and definitely from Israel. But if you can say that perhaps for Israel it's political voting, for Estonia it's just people liking it. So it's very far away from Estonia as well. So I'm guessing that the hype kind of was too high in the beginning. People really appreciated it, and at the end of the day, it kind of was a victim of the new voting system. Um, as you know, people can vote from very early on in the competition, which makes them perhaps off the hook for voting for later songs. And Sweden was pretty late in the evening. Um, so maybe the new system kind of hurts you if you later down the line. Also, I would say, and this is true for all songs, there was a bit of a problem with the sound, I think, in the competition in general. Definitely in the semifinal, you felt it, but also in the final. I thought it hurt some of the song more than the others. I feel like Sweden is one of those songs. The sound didn't really gel with the sound of the singers was much lower than the beat, and the beat was not as great as I feel like it was in the national final for in the Swedish competition. So yeah, so I'm feeling like a fourth is probably lower than what they wanted, but probably deserved considering the end results of the competition. Italy is historically very high always. I mean, they are contender for top five no matter what, honestly. Um, and I'm happy that this one resonated pretty well, both with the judges and with the jury. I think a deserved fifth place. A very very nice song, very touching, and yeah, again, Italian entries tend to do well in Eurovision, so nothing too shocking here. Perhaps the fact that it was third for a while in the jury votes. Sorry, it was much. It's not third. It was I believe it was. Let me have a look. Just a second. Um, Let me have a look. Yeah. Yeah, so it was definitely up there for a while in the jury's votes, but yeah, I believe it finished like fourth in the jury vote for a while. So yeah, pretty good. Greece, I love Greece. I love Hellas. I love that song, and I feel like again, it's very deserving of the place that it got. Probably I would have put it higher. Personally, I like it a lot. But again, it got very high voting from the judges and from the audience. And I have to say, in general, the split this year of the audience voting at least is very fair. I would say we'll talk about perhaps competitors that it's not so fair, but in general, like it now there wasn't like two or three acts that took all the votes. It was more spread out, so deserving acts like the Greece entry got good numbers, so I appreciate it. France, it was always going to be a jury song. Um, Honestly, most of the time, the French entry is a jury song. It's the same this time. They were third for a while in the jury. And yeah, I think they could be happy with top 10, 50 points. It's probably something that makes sense. And again, being a top five entry that is not Italy, again, because Italy always get good numbers, and getting 50 points is probably okay. Albania, one of my favorites as well, for sure. I would be very happy with an Albanian victory. Um, but yeah, they got very high numbers from the audience. They were pretty much snubbed by the jury. Not sure why. It was a great act. It was a great closer for the competition. Um, and yeah, and kind of kind of saying that people really resonated with it. And I'm not sure why it was snubbed by the jury. I think like the jury should have appreciated it more. It's a very good song. It's very artistic. But I'm happy that the audience gave it like the numbers it deserves. Essentially, it was fifth in the audience, so well done. Ukraine don't have a lot to say about it. It was pleasant. I enjoyed it. I liked it for what it is, and I feel like it the top position that it got overall makes sense. So yeah, well done, Ukraine. Switzerland. Switzerland is an oddity for sure. So let's talk about it. 0 points from the public seems a bit rush and hush. But usually that happens. I mean, the people resonate for a specific kind of acts, and some get snubbed. But the fact that it was second in the jury is pretty mind blowing, um, because it's too high, I believe, for Switzerland. I understand why it's a classic Jewish song, right? It's a ballad. It's very pleasant. Zoe Mao was great. I mean, she's very pleasant for sure. But this is probably too high in terms of jury votes. It is something to be There is something to be said about the fact that the host is an easy country to vote for if you're a jury. People are cheering when you vote for the host. It's all nice and fluffy, and it's usually harmless because you know that the host has a very low chance of winning again. So, so sometimes the jury, just because they don't want to choose like other favorites that are maybe competing with them or stuff like that, they will gravitate for the host. I think that was the case here. I think they overdid it for sure. But I'm not dissatisfied with the place that it got. I mean, I don't think that it should have got 0 point from the jury. So I guess when push come to shove, the jury did what they needed to do, which was overcorrect and what is happening with the public. In this case, in Switzerland, they are fairly overcorrected. So yeah, Finland. I never bought the hype, to be honest. I enjoy Erika's performance. I think it was good. But in the end of the day, she got a very mid result, both from audiences and from the jury. And to be fair, I think in some years this result will probably be higher in terms of stage, in terms of ranking. So it's even not really a mid result. It's actually higher than in some years, because again, in most years we have big winners that get most of the points. But uh, but yeah, I mean it's on top 15. So that's definitely good. Um, and Erica did what she did and wanted to do, and the people that liked it and voted for it, and that's great. And she got all the screen time that she wanted, and even more, I would say, from others. So definitely a good show for her. Netherlands crushed in this competition. It collapsed basically the act. There were a few kind of problems, let's say, with the final performance in terms of vocals. So yeah, so I can understand why the audience didn't really appreciate it. At least the people who are not into the know of the songs, they didn't hear it before. It's a pleasant song. It's nice. Definitely got a lot of points from the jury. I feel like this place is deserving for sure. Latvia, kind of the same, honestly. I didn't really get the jury's 12 in Latvia for a few times. Um, but I guess that's what you get when you have an out there performance. Sometimes people will resonate with it more than you care to note. Um, Overall, good performance from Latvia. I would put it lower, honestly, but I congratulate them for a good act, for sure. Poland will feel the Polish people will definitely feel snubbed. 17 points from the jury is very low for what is essentially a very good act. Very well choreographed, very well produced, great singer, a song that is pretty good, I would say. Definitely enjoyed it. And yeah, and the audience definitely resonated with it as well. Again, I would say this was a top 10 worthy performance, and it's not quite there in terms of staging. So yeah, I would be upset as well if I was Polish in terms of how snubbed it was by the jury. But overall, Justina, you did great and well done. Germany, I really like Germany this year. I'm happy that they were not snubbed by the audience because there was a risk of that. Um, Very fresh, very well produced. I'm happy that they sang in German after a while. Hopefully, it will make them do it more in coming years because yeah, it was a good outing, and there were a few points away from being in the top side of the competition in general. So well done. I like the split as well. Like jury and public were kind of in the same mind in this case. Lithuania, great song. Don't want to over push it again. It was mostly appreciated by the segment in the Eurovision that likes these kind of songs. But I always said that there is a segment for it. I'm one of the segments, and I liked it very much. Well, very good performance. Malta, wow, Malta was snubbed by the public. it was always going to be a problem for Malta. So Malta is one of those countries that doesn't really have a lot of, let's say, allies in terms of natural voting population in other countries. And this showed this year for sure. I felt like that performance was deserving to something a bit higher than what it got. I guess the potential voters for it had other options, and in the end of the day, they chose those. I would say Finland or maybe others here, Sweden, stuff like that. So Marina Conte, I'm sorry for your end result. It's not that bad for sure, and definitely got some recognition from the jury. So overall, it's pretty okay. Norway, it was always going to be tough being the first show in the competition, the first act. Um, Again, some did very well with being very early, but this one was always going to be on the lower side, I think, even on in the odds. So yeah, good performance all around, nice song, but I feel deserving in terms of the final place that it got. UK, I'm sorry, guys. I mean, I was worried that you were going to get the 0 points, and unfortunately, they got 0 points from the audience. It's more about the UK, I think, like than the actual song. I'm happy that they got actually a lot of points from the jury. So the jury really appreciated the vocal capacities. I thought that the act was worse than the semifinal. I don't know why. So the vocal didn't really gel as much as it did, at least as I thought it was gelling in the first semifinal. So yeah, so the act was underwhelming. So I can understand why it got in the end 0 points. But you know what, UK, you're not last place, so that's good. Armenia, yeah, I didn't care for the act at all. I liked the song when I listened to it, and I thought it would get to the final, but the final performance was something that I really didn't appreciate. I didn't really care for the running, and I heard this joke. I don't know if it's a joke or more of a commentary about, Yuval Rafael actually survived. A massacre basically in the Nova Festival, and it was kind of odd to have an actual survivor of a massacre in the competition, and then someone singing about being a survivor, but with no real context. So yeah, so it didn't really resonate with anyone, and I understand why. Portugal, you know what? I enjoyed it. It's fun. It's nice, and it was very late in the competition. And for this kind of song, it ran the risk of getting you a bit sleepy. And I feel like this one won that risk and kind of did it. And yeah, it was never going to be very high, right? It was a surprise for me when they qualified to the final. So that's where I would put them. Luxembourg, again, same thing as Luxembourg, as Portugal, basically. Yeah, I was surprised that it was getting to the final, and I didn't expect it to get much higher than that. Denmark, you know what, Cecil, you deserve more. It was better than what you got. Your outfit was a bit distracting, to be honest. I was mostly concerned with the outfit and the song. Maybe in a different kind of staging, this song would have gotten a better result. Yeah, the snap from the public is difficult, especially when you have countries like Sweden and Norway with you. I would expect for you to get a bit more. So that's why I'm and Iceland. So yeah, the Nordics didn't really support each other in this one. Spain, yeah, I didn't like this song at all. I know the Spanish people hate me for this, but that's the case. And I'm happy that it was not last place at least. So yeah, but honestly, fair enough. Nobody got 0 points in this competition, so that's good. Um, yeah, Iceland again. I was surprised that it qualified, so seems okay for me, and that it didn't get nothing from the jury, and it got some good points. I mean, relatively in the last places from the audience. So yeah, it's okay. San Marino is probably the biggest shocker for me. It shouldn't have been last place. Not for me, for sure. And I'm not sure exactly what happened in San Marino. I mean, that's probably one of those cases again, similar to Malta, when you don't have a lot of um, um, people kind of giving you automatic voting. I was surprised how snobby it was from Italy. Like, your country is literally named in the song. Why don't you even give it the higher voting? So that was surprising for me, and for sure. But yeah, I mean, I really, I mean, out of all the top bottom of the song, San Marino is my favorite. Yeah, I would have loved it if it would have been much higher, but that's the way it is. So yeah, well, very interesting competition this year. I think we had some nice songs, some songs that I'm actually going to put in my playlist. But overall, I think the end result is justified. I'm excited for Austria and seeing what they're going to do again with next year Eurovision. And yeah, I'm happy to hear what you guys are thinking about the result. Do you have any comments, specific comments about some of the placement here? You feel it was fair, it was not fair? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, it was great seeing you on the next one. Bye, guys.